Hello friends, welcome back to the deep watery silence that is Project Aura. Last time around we got our colony started. We've got a fair few people kind of woken up and working. Let's have a quick review of what we've got running. So we have our water desalination plant is operational. Or rather, it's not operational because I've got it turned off. Let's make sure it's turned on here. Get back to work. Okay, so water desalination, which is providing, unsurprisingly, water. We also have our residential block, where presumably people are living, and we're turning all of the waste materials that they are providing into fertilizer. Fertilizer is going to be all important. We've then got a couple of recycling plants. No, that's your desalination plant, dear boy. Learn to tell the difference. Okay, well, this one's a recycling plant, and this one is basically making us something. What's it making us? I should be able to spot this from the get-go. What are we? We're recycling organics. Okay, so we're going to be turning buckets of organic sea matter into a combination of fertilizer and seaweed, and that's where we're going to pick it up today. Basically, that organic stuff is being picked up by Alpha Hangar, which for some reason has turned off. Get back to work. So that ship will zip off and go and harvest us a bunch more organic waste for us to turn into stuff. But what we're going to build now is we're going to build a seaweed farm, which is all important because that's what's going to allow us to keep our people fed. So we want to get this in such a place. Now, can I remember how to turn it around? There we go. Will you fit in there? No, you won't. You're too big. So you can't get a hangar and a seaweed farm on the same platform. I possibly could if I changed the alignment of the template. In fact, I might try that. Let's try a different template. New template. So we need one of those. Give me the. Let's rotate that round. We need one of those. We need one of these. There we go. And that way we've got it all in a row. What does this do? Yes, but what is it? That's a portal. No, I don't think we need a portal, do we? Has this got one? What's that? That might be the portal there. It needs a portal. Right, okay, fine. So, can I get... No, I can't build it in a straight line anyway. So it needs a portal. Okay, right, stuff that then. We'll stick with template 0 and we'll build it on a new platform. I don't really want to build it on a new platform, but we will do. Let's zoom back out again and get it over here. So, yeah, so the seaweed farm is kind of a big deal. It's important to... well, buy the materials then. Buy them automatically. There we go. Yep. Thank you. Give me that. And then park it up here. Right. Good. So, seaweed production comes in kind of two phases. Right. First off, we are going to need a director. And I think I've got one in business. There we go. Junior director. Let's get him over here. There we go. Right. You. Get to work. And then we need the necessary blueprints in order to make this happen. Organic, probably. No, tech, and then it's these buttons up the top here. Recover organic waste. No, seaweed fattening and seaweed drying we need. Yep. Or is it? Yes, it is. Pretty sure it is. Good, right, so we hook that up to there, and then we hook this up to here, like that. And we need farmers and operators. Okay, let's hope there's some I can wake up. There aren't any juniors available at all, but we do have a master medic. Oh, terrific. Oh, how terribly helpful that is. Let's replace him with a farmer. Come on, where's the farmer? Farmer. There we go. Right, you. Yes, replace. Yes. you. Right, you, come here. Yep, wake up. You on that. Thank you. No, you on that. Thank you. Right, and we're going to get this chap here working on seaweed fattening. Right, now we could equally be turning seaweed that we've picked up into compost, but at the moment we're generating enough through the come here, get to work, turn that like that. So basically the seaweed farm does two things. Firstly, it takes my raw seaweed, which I've got down here. As you can see, I've got 100. It uses 100 at a time, so we've just put 100 in here. It turns that into fat seaweed. Quite why the seaweed needs to be fat is not for me to know. I don't really need to have that question answered, but the seaweed must be fat. We've got another farmer here. Let's get them to work. Yep. Directors are few and far between, so I'll awake him as well. We've got a versatile in there, but really what I need is operators. Right, we'll get a versatile on here. Right. And actually, I need at least one operator for this to be viable. So I'm going to change this researcher into an operator. Yep. Thank you. No. Get rid of opera. Oh, there we go. And another one's turned up as well. So much the better. Right, good. So let's now stick these guys onto that one. So that's working. And then operators. And I'll put my versatile on there as well. Versatiles are kind of handy. I mean, you know, they'll work on anything and not make too much of a fuss about it. And so you're then going to dry the seaweed, thank you, and let's get you going as soon as you're ready. That's quite an extreme sound effect. They're going to turn that seaweed into something that people can actually eat, which is terrific. And so in theory, we are now self-sufficient for both food and water, in theory. Don't get me wrong, the diet that we're putting people on is quite away from being something that will get anybody excited. It's not the most dramatic diet in the world, but it will do the job. So those guys have all leveled up already, which is great, because obviously as they level up, they produce whatever it is I've told them to produce in a much quicker fashion. And hopefully we'll have our first portion of food out fairly rapidly, because we've only got 1 day worth of food left. I'm not entirely sure where we are in the day. I'm not sure if it's this orange bar. Maybe it is this orange bar. But it looks like we'll get this first batch of edible seaweed done before they get here. Where are we? There we go. Seaweed portion. Right, let's drag that over there. And equally we want some water as well. And it's either left click and shift or right click and... How do I... No, I just sent all... I don't want to send all of it over. I just want some of it. Some of it. Control shift. Right click. Left click. Alt click. No. Alt click? No. What does this do? Refill. To refill up to the specified amount. Ah, okay, right, good. In which case we'll get that set to 200 and hit it. No? Refill. Okay, that didn't work. Oh, come on, I've done this before. Control, Alt, Shift, click. Middle button. Not intuitive, my friends. That's what you're not. You're not intuitive. Right, let's bang that over there. Oh, it did it. Maybe it auto-refills. Maybe any time it's less than 200, it will refill to 200 if 200 is possible. Anyway, that's working now. Good, marvellous. So, in theory, we now have enough materials coming in to be able to to support our colony as is. We're certainly providing enough food. And this is the point at which you kind of go like, all right, what shall I make next? What's the next thing we need to do? What are you guys working on here? You're turning sea slops into food and seaweed, into fertilizer and seaweed. So I could probably do with another recycling chappie. We've got a recycling chappie here. Yeah, okay, there we go. Yep, wake them up. Get them to work. There we are. Right. Because obviously the faster I can recycle, as you can see, the slops coming out of the sea, we're not making, well, we're making more of those than we can process at the moment. So getting that moving would probably be kind of cool. Equally, in fact, definitely, I'm going to put this versatile over on here. No, I'm going to put this versatile over on here, and we'll get this director that we woke up. They can be the director of the recycling plant. There we are. Everyone get back to work. Right, and then we can, with a bit of luck, that will produce more usable seaweed faster. And there we go. In fact, this next couple of runs should do the next recycle. Okay, so what do I want to do next? Well, to be honest, I don't really know. Getting to the point of self-sufficiency is kind of a major trick in the game. What I could do next is build myself another hangar, right? And then, in fact, let's do this let's show rather than just say. So we could get another hangar set up. There we go, another alpha hangar to go and pick up kind of metallic slops, as it were, so scrap from the bottom of the ocean. Which we could then recycle and turn into various metals and plastics and that kind of stuff, from which we can then manufacture all the bits that we need in order to expand further. But that would appear, at least to me, to be expansion just for the sake of expansion. And right now, with this early access game, that does keep me thinking, what's the point? What am I doing? Why am I here? What am I actually trying to achieve? I need some batteries, so to keep my power generation happy if something bad happens. And maybe that's the bit that's missing at the moment. Maybe it's simply a case that I'm waiting for the game to update a bit so that we can do something more exciting. But yeah, so I mean that's more or less where we're up to game-wise. I can start working on making other things, but it's a case of, come on, look, I want to buy that. I want one. What have we got? 4. Yeah, buy them. Thank you. See, now we stick these in here of the accumulating variety. All right, and that's a useful thing. And then we'll buy some amplifiers. Alright, and then we'll buy those. And we stick those in here. No, we stick those, that's it, in there. And that makes more power. Right, so we're now overproducing on power. And this also helps us to store just a little bit more, but not as much as batteries will, which live in here. So there we go, batteries. Well, we can take 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Yep, 11. Right, so, I've still got the best part of 15 grand left, and I'm making enough food and whatever else at the moment to be able to sell some of it for cash if I want to. Recycling, plastics and metals and that stuff means that I can make ships and sell those, but until there is a purpose behind any of this, I think that's probably us done with this series for now. I'll more than likely revisit it later. But at present, I'm left kind of going, and, what am I trying to do here? I mean, it's quite attractive. I don't know why I've got this shield up. Presumably the outdoors is pretty nasty. But it's quite nice that you can see the seabed under there, and we've got this underground something or others going on. underwater something or others. You know, how are we doing over here? Pilot's all good to go. Master pilot is about to take off again and come back with another bucket of slop. We've got a recycler over here that's recycling those slops. Yeah, we've looked at that like half a dozen times now, and it does seem to surprise you every time. Meanwhile, seaweed, working on the seaweed. So there we go. Look, I mean, we've got 300 water, we've got 300 seaweed, we've got enough food in the bank for 8 days with our colonists. Everything is under control. So there we go. We're going to leave it there because there isn't an awful lot more excitement we can get out of this game at the moment. I'll come back to it as soon as something happens. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Comment. Have you been playing it? What am I missing? Have I maybe missed an exciting part of the game? I'm going to push this button. Hold on. Right. Yeah, have I missed an exciting part of the game? Is there something I should be doing that I'm currently not? Let me know. And subscribe for something new. We'll fill this slot with something new next week. But thanks very much for watching. I've been Colonel Failure. And I will catch up with you soon. Cheerio.
Listen.